Good Saturday morning, everybody. It's Trevor Thompson, the self-appointed Looney Tunes Critic in here, and we are doing yet another request. You guys are so nice to make these requests. All I can do is oblige you as best I can. This is the Hasty Hare, and it was requested by Evan Schote. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Schoette. This is one of the better Marvin the Martian shorts, if I do say so myself. Although, I will say I'm sorry to see his old design go in the late 40s with his first, I think it was Hairway to the Stars, his first appearance. You know, kind of like in that shot there, his head was mostly eyeballs. So, and also that hand, do you know how hard it is to make those shapes look like hands holding, they're just little squigglies and, lines, but it's so hard to get that right. So Chuck, again, amazing draftsman. I'm just a fan of Marvin the Martian. I like that he doesn't have a face, and that's kind of super futuristic. But then there's something super retro with having that helmet, that Roman getup, and the sneakers. See, that's what the sneakers on Space Jam should have been. If they're gonna do Looney Tunes, this basketball thing, and sell sneakers just to sell sneakers and incorporate the Looney Tunes, they should look like that. They should be the Chuck Jones Looney Tunes sneakers. I don't know, maybe there's some cosplay people out there that have those kind of sneakers that have like Marvin the Martian costumes. But I personally, Chuck super generalized those sneakers because those sneakers show up on a lot of his characters sometimes. Gossamer, the monster, big orange monster, wears those sneakers too. But, I didn't realize for the longest time, and I know it sounds kind of ignorant, but I didn't realize for the longest time that Mel Blanc did Marvin's voice here. I really didn't.
Oh dear, now I suppose I shall have to use force.
So, I don't know why I didn't hear Mel's voice in that, but maybe it was the fact that, even at a young age, I knew that Mel Blanc did not do Elmer Fudd's voice. I'd done my research, and I knew Arthur Cube, so I knew it was possible that other voice actors or actors could do main characters. It was possible. And I guess I just, I knew there was in those early 40s cartoons, that announcer, I think his name was Robert C. Bruce, he was on Buckaroo Bugs, the San Fernando Valley, our home. But I just didn't put it together that this was Mel. And then many years later, I heard Chuck Jones talking in an interview about how Mel didn't really do tricks with his voice. And with the exception of Marvin the Martian, I've always felt that was true.
Mel Blanc was a most brilliant and quickest study I've ever known. He did not originate voices. He would decide what kind of a person it was, and then we would have him try out voices until he got the one that was relative to that character. Because great actors, of course, do not change their voice. They don't talk through their nose and so on. But basically, what you want to do is the inclination. What is the character thinking about? Who is he? So what I had to tell Mel then was to go over the story and tell him what the intent of the character is. And then we go through and do the voices. And I wasn't an actor, but I knew what I wanted in each line. And I knew how long they had to be. Because look, if we had given any actor the right to do anything he wants to with a voice, what would happen to the length of the picture? So very realistically, we had to keep absolute control over the lines. And once in a while, I would ask him to do something that was a little different because I felt I had a little room to move around and let him play with that scene and use as much as I could. But basically, he understood that he would stay within the parameters of what the words were supposed to be saying in the time they were supposed to be saying it. And sometimes it's very difficult. I couldn't understand how anybody could be as versatile as he. In one of Prince's pictures, he did an octet. And he had 8 characters, and he did every one of them. He's a fine musician, too. Well, he was great.
Yeah, he was. So, yeah, and I just like, I think he is doing tricks, though, with Marvin's. We're putting the voice in the back, because I didn't hear any of Mel. I could sort of hear Mel in all the other characters, but, yeah, one overconfident Earth creature. So, this cartoon, I didn't see a lot as a kid. I don't think it got a lot of wide video releases. I loved the way the animation of him pacing back and forth angrily in front of Bugs, because he's such a literal character that he wouldn't just kind of, sway back and forth while looking Bugs in the eye. He completely looks straight forward and straight backward and does a complete, U-turn, and just... These are the little touches that we don't really get to see with by trusting animators to be animators and cartoonists to be cartoonists, and to play with just the medium of being able to draw in this two-dimensional plane, pen to paper. SpongeBob, I will say, is the show that gets to do that the most. But it's not genuinely favored as an ability much these days. But again, this is what you need if you were doing the Space Jam, the ad campaign, and all that stuff in space. The original guys, man, they laid this out for you. The Griffith Observatory here too. I like this. I lived by Griffith Park for a little while, so I did get to go up there and see a caricature of Friz Freleng behind the controls. It all is there. It's not a lie. There were planets within reach. All of this is true. Yeah, but this is actually a Friz Freleng, a caricature of Friz Freleng. And there it is right there. I Frisbee, which is Isidore. His real name is Isidore. In the earlier cartoons, you can see he doesn't get... He gets credited as... Not director. They didn't call them directors back then. They said supervisors, supervision. But he was Isidore Freleng, and so that makes it why his first name is Isidore, so it's I Frisbee. But that is... I've also heard how Friz can tend to react to things.
What's biting him?
Oh, it's just his personality, Bugs. All right, guys, that's the Hasty Hare, and we'll see you next week.